What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and today we'll be talking about Zebec, ZBCN USD. It is the second day of July. Here we are at about $0.00233 with roughly 10 hours and 45 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into it, okay? Let's talk about the price action. We're up about 7% on the day. 0023 is the price. This is a cause for celebration, maybe for some people if they bought in the last 2 days. For everybody else, probably not so much a cause for celebration because you're down a massive amount. I want to be clear before we get started, and you probably already know what I'm going to say. This is not a point at which we're going to start recovering and seeing new highs. This is just a point at which you're going to get your hopes up, and then your hopes diminish, and hopes up and hopes diminish, and la-di-da until you go all the way down below these lows, and probably systematically lower than that even. We're going to get into the short-term stuff. We'll go over that now. I don't suspect that this move pushes too much higher. You know, maybe you do push, exactly this high. Maybe you push above this this lower high kind of trend here. But I don't expect much out of this move. Okay. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll go from there. And that could change. I mean, maybe by the end of this video, I'll be convinced that we're going to see a 50% pump from here. I don't know. But for now, I'm just sticking with the bias that I've had for a very long time now, for months now. 1 hour time frame, looking at this, overbought, nice, looks strong, looks good. Stochastics look good, the MACD looks good, all good things. No signs of exhaustion yet, but you are overbought, you are a little extended. 4 hour time frame starting to shape up a little bit. Stochastics, MACD, RSI, all of it's looking good. Yeah, you probably don't stop here. You probably do continue to recover. So let's see where you might recover to from a high to a low. The expectation for me would be something around 00239 to 0026. Is that 263? 263, yeah. Somewhere around there. 00239 to 00263. That means Zebec has a chance to pump another measly 2% or potentially another like 10 to 11%. Nice. Good. Not bad, especially considering from the lows that'll be an overall 20% move. You probably do see something like that. Now, can you go higher? Yes, it's possible. I'm not really there yet though, so let's keep it at this as far as the prediction goes. Now, let's look and see if the daily time frame might do it for me. We'll see. Low to high, 236, 069, 382, 236, 0.5, 382, golden ratio, 0.5. Does that make sense? Let me do it again, maybe with drawings instead. Red line, pink line, yellow line, red line, green line, red line, white line, green line, right? It's like you're stair-stepping all the way down. The next area then would be 0, oh, come on, I didn't mean to do that. Would be 00245, which if we take that same fib from a high to a low here, that actually does take you right above the 382, which is exactly in that target area that we just forecasted. So 00245, you might go a little bit above there, right? Maybe you go to 00248. Don't get too excited. You're probably going to find resistance around that 00245 area and then move down, probably. Now, if you do push higher, great. If you do push higher, that's awesome. That's fantastic. I would think that 00245, 00248 area provides resistance. We're refining this a little bit. I feel pretty confident in that call. But if you were to get some type of more robust bounce from here, you are finding support at prior resistance. You are finding support at prior support. You are finding support here at prior support as well. And the market's turning up a little bit. If we were to push higher, it is possible to anticipate the 382, which is at 00273. It's even acceptable to consider the golden ratio, especially with the interaction with this 236 over here. 382 on top of the 382, golden ratio on top of the 236. That would allow for Zebec, again, to move up about, well, actually, this is a little bit more, 16% from here. To potentially, as much as 40% from here. And even if you pump 40% from here, which I doubt, but it could happen, and that doubt could shift into belief. If you do pump to here, which I do doubt is going to happen, it's still going to be a lower high and you're still going to come down. You'll get a nice little reaction and then you'll still come down. People will be telling you and convincing you to buy because you've broken out of this downward sloping trend, and you will still come down. Okay. You have been moving down since April. Maybe it is time to see some recovery, right? I kind of forecasted this zone back here. You know, that's what we were forecasting, but you found resistance. We got bearish then whenever you rejected this area, so we've been bearish since. I would stick with the same kind of concept that we've been doing, which is that you're going to get a lower high. So maybe at the highest 00273, probably you stop around 0025, 00245. But whatever, however high you go. And I'll keep an eye on this thing. And as we get to these areas, we'll look for things to pivot. We'll look for short-term stuff. Right now, the short-term stuff says up. Short-term stuff saying up does not mean this. It just means, you know, we probably do go here, and I would expect to find signals of exhaustion as we go up there. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. For now, you look good. For now, you look good. You look like you want to continue moving higher. You are at somewhat of significant areas to find support. It makes sense, right? Low to high overall, bouncing off the golden ratio. Typically, from the golden ratio, you do go to the 0.5 or the 382 area. You find resistance there, and then you continue to go down to the 786, 886. This is the simplistic, most appropriate view, most probable view, in my opinion. But, of course, the higher option is there. The higher high option is technically even there, but I highly, highly doubt it. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you all. Take care. I hope you had fun. Hope you had a good time. Oh, we didn't even look at the daily RSI, did we? Yeah, daily RSI actually sucks. Stochastics are starting to shape up a little bit, but you're at the 50. It's a point of resistance. And the MACD is also terrible. Doesn't mean you can't turn around, though. You looked very terrible here at these lows. You looked very, very terrible here, and you still pumped. So it can definitely happen now. We just haven't seen that kind of finale finish that you typically like to get. But again, even here, from a high to a low, there were moments where you did pump. From a low point to a high point, you pumped 50%. There were moments, even though you went lower, there were moments where you pumped 70%. You know, right here, right before this massive dump, you pumped 53%. When's the last time that Zebec has seen anything like that? The biggest pump that you've seen has been 27%. I really wouldn't be too put off or surprised, nor would it hurt my thesis that we're going lower if we saw some type of 40 to 60% move from here. 40% could take you up to 0029, 60% could take you up to 0034. It might be time. And again, as you're moving lower, volume is dying off. It might be time. You hit the golden ratio, it might be time. That doesn't mean we're going to see a higher high, though. So I am actually a little bit less doubtful. I'm a little bit more hopeful that you do get some type of robust move from this. But I do not have hopes that it'll last long, that it'll push you higher than anything outside of the norms of what we've seen in the past, even while moving lower. So as time goes on, regardless of what happens here, lower is the game plan, lower than this low, probably even below your all-time low levels in time. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, you probably do move up. You probably do continue to move up. As far as how high, that's the question, isn't it? That's the question. Don't let my slight optimism at the end there excite you. You really could find resistance right here and continue to push lower. And then you get your 40 to 50% pump, right? Maybe you get it from here, and then you dump. Whatever. We'll figure it out. I would say this, maybe a closing thought, actually. If you can close a day, let me just double check this and make sure this is appropriate to say. It seems appropriate to say, so I'm going to say it. If you can close a day above 0024, let's say 00246. If you can close a day above 00246, the statistical probability that you interact with the 0027 to 0032 levels, it goes up tremendously. Okay. For now, it's just a hope. It's just a dream. You close above the screen line on a daily basis, a little bit more than just above it, but like just above it there. This area becomes the next target. Okay. Take care. Toodaloo. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.